Hello and welcome to Paul Makes Games. My name is Paul and it is the middle of the week and it is time to look back on last week, week 6, and talk a bit about the game and what I've learned from it. The game I released is called Flash Climbing. You play as a climber with the goal of climbing as high as you can up a wall without falling off. You play by moving each limb and using physics to grab hold of the holds and climb. The game is pretty simple, actually a lot simpler than I originally planned, and that was mostly because of something that I have been trying to ignore and it ended up creeping up on me, but I will be talking about that a bit later. But first, I am going to talk about the game itself. I can't decide whether I'm happy with the game or not, but it is released and I did get some feedback from it. First off, the good stuff about the game. I think people liked the general concept behind it. I was partly inspired by the QWOP or the QWOP type games, those games where the controls are purposely a bit awkward as part of the challenge, and I think I achieved that to some degree. I also wanted to get the feeling of climbing within the game, or at least the feeling that I get when I'm climbing, where you think about where you put your hands and feet and that rising feeling of getting tired and losing grip on the holds. And I think I kind of felt that a bit when I was playing as well. Some of the things I think could have gone better with the game. The game does not have that much depth to it. You are climbing up a wall and that's pretty much it. The only sense of progression is that you are learning how to do it better, but once you've got to a certain standard, there is no real reason to keep playing more. I also originally wanted to have an online scoring system which would add some competition to the game to make the game more fun, and I made the mistake of thinking it would be an easier task than it was, and I ran out of time. But the main thing I want to talk about today, which affected me and the game the most this week, is Burnout. I've spoken to a lot of people about this project, and when you say you're going to make 10 games in 10 weeks, a lot of people say you are going to burn out. When you have a week to make a game and you're still learning a lot and you're setting ambitious goals, each week turns into a crunch, and then you try to recover on the weekends and Monday comes around and you start it all again. So I have been expecting it. I knew it could happen from the start, and I've been ignoring the signs of it, and last week is when it finally caught up with me. For a lot of the week, my motivation was not good. I was struggling to sit down and concentrate on the game. I couldn't decide what I wanted from the game, and I wasted a lot of time. Part of this project for me is to act as small examples of what it'll be like to make bigger games from start to finish. And I think Burnout is definitely something that I need to acknowledge and work on if I'm going to be doing this at a bigger scale. Nearing the end of the week, when I started accepting I was burning out, I reduced the scope of the game way back, and I started looking at other aspects of my life outside of the project. And I realised I had been slipping on a lot of other things. My diet had been getting worse, I had been exercising a lot less, I'd been spending more time in front of my computer and less time with friends and family, and my sleep was all over the place. And it's something that had been happening gradually, which meant I hadn't really noticed it until last week when I felt so unmotivated and struggling to work on the game. Now, you read and hear stories about people working crazy hours for months on end to get projects over the line, but I don't think it's healthy, and I doubt in the vast majority of cases even necessary. Especially with a creative project like making a game, you can't just throw more hours at it and it will automatically become better. In fact, at least from my experience, a few hours working when you're healthy and rested will produce a much better result than working for many hours when you're drained and tired and have no interest in the work. So the question is, how can you stop yourself from getting in that state in the first place? My answer is that you do the things that everybody suggests to keep mentally healthy, which is have a good diet, sleep well, exercise, and be social, which I am now working to get back on track and will be for the foreseeable future. In summary, what I've learned the most this week is if I want to create the best games I can, then I should make sure I commit time to not making games and look after myself instead. And I don't mean one night going for a run and eating a salad for dinner and that's it, but making and keeping that lifestyle of being healthy all the time, even when projects are challenging. Because if it takes 6 weeks of gradual decline to get burnt out, how am I going to keep going for months or years? And with that, I am going to get back to Game 7. Or maybe I'll go for a run. But if you want to hear more about that, the game I mean, not the run, check out Twitter at Paul Makes Games and give it a follow, because that's where you'll hear about updates and game releases first, where usually it takes a few more days for me to create the release videos on here. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.